Here's a bunch of red flags that you should avoid if you're looking for a job. Some of these apply if you've been working at a place for a while, and some apply to while you're being hired. Let's start with if you've worked at a place for a while and an employee quits or gets fired. The red flag is if no one tries to replace them. So what happens is you have a coworker who, loses their job for whatever reason, and their workload now becomes part of your workload, and if they're never trying to replace that employee, then over time you now have a permanent increase to your workload, and you're probably not getting a raise, you're not getting compensated more hours, you're not getting more help or more employees to do anything. You're just expected to do their job as well as your own. Now, these next ones might depend on the company's size, but there's a lot of small things that can add up. For instance, if the boss or the CEO or whoever, if it's like a smaller company, is driving an extremely expensive, pricey car, that's something really, really fishy. Also, if it's a smaller company or like a private or family-owned company, you can do a Google search for the company name, followed by defendant or the company name, plaintiff. And what this will do is you can see if they're being sued or have been sued, if they're in the habit of suing others. It can be a red flag if they're very sue happy. Also, if you've been invited to an interview, look and see how they treat you. Are they treating you with respect for your time? As in, are they making you wait in a lobby for a very long time, not offering you any food or snacks or drinks? Sometimes these interviews can take hours. Do they have any respect for your time as the employee? Also, look around at the other employees too. Like if you're walking down the hallway towards a manager's office or to a meeting, are the other employees happy that they're there? Are they energized? Are they feeling great? Are they in good spirits? Or are they staring at the ground? Are they miserable? Are they tired? Are they just half asleep? Do they not want to be there? Just look at their body language. And if you're not used to looking at body language, then here's what I want you to do. Go to the ghetto and go to a fast food place like a Subway or a McDonald's and look at the employees. And then go to a rich, ritzy neighborhood and then go to a gym and look at the employees there. You could definitely see a difference in body language. Also, if you're going to work somewhere, see how tidy the place is. Is it messy? Is it cluttered? Is it just run down? Sometimes these are signs of poor management, which if you want to slack off could be a good thing, but if you're looking to be in management and the place is an absolute mess, then your fellow managers are not pulling their weight. Also, during interviews, pay attention to any kind of social cues, like the boss is telling you, oh yeah, people like to work late, people like to donate their time, we're a family here. Stuff like that's super red flaggy. Also, beware the line that they'll start you out at low pay and they'll give you a ton of money later on. Because they never will, they never do. Don't fall for that one. Also, if they try to double as a salesman and sell you whatever it is the company makes, that's also kind of fishy. Like if you're in an interview for insurance and they're trying to sell you their own insurance as you interview them, get the hell out of there. Also, if you look at a job description and when you do your application and then you go in for the interview and the manager's telling you things that don't line up with your job description, for instance, like, oh yeah, you'll have to travel 25% of the time, and then the manager sits down and it's like, well, it's more actually like 50%. That means they're welching on information, they're kind of skimming the truth off the top, and it's gonna just be a hell ride. The biggest example would be that you look at a job that's a remote job, and then you go into interview for it, and they're like, no, we prefer people to work in the office. Yeah, so it's not a remote job then? Okay. Also on that note, if the salary range is like extremely wide, I'm talking, yeah, the pay can be $25,000 to $100,000. That's extremely fishy. Also another one that people don't realize, open interviews. You see this everywhere at fast food places and grocery stores. But basically it's like every Tuesday from 2 to 5, come on in and sit down for an interview, no scheduling needed. That means that there's an insane turnover rate. Also, if you have to report to multiple people, this is something you can ask in the interview, but you basically ask how many people will you be reporting to, and if it's like 4 to 5 people, and this is notorious for retail stores, what happens is you're going to eventually have a conflict of upper command, of the chain of command, and one manager's directions will conflict with another manager's directions, and then they will fight, and then they will take it out against you in your performance review. Also, if you're just ever in a random job and they just tell you sink or swim without teaching you how to do the job or expecting you how to learn anything, that's a huge red flag too. Like imagine, like I only have retail experience, but imagine you're a cashier at a busy store and there's like a weird error code on your screen and you don't know what the hell it means, and you can't cash the customer out or ring up things. It's like your screen's frozen. What do? Well, you know, you ask the supervisor, hey, I'm kind of stuck here, can you help me? And they just say, sink or swim, and then hang up the phone. It's like, okay then. So expect a job like that to be very stressful. Another thing too is the age of your fellow employees. Like, let's say it's a very, very old company that's been around since like the 1800s, but everyone working there, everyone in charge, everyone that you're surrounded by are very, very young. That means the old crew is done, they're retired, and it's in the hands of the new crew, and that can be very problematic. But also it's a sign of high turnover rate. Oh, this is a fun one, the phrase, nobody works here for money. Yeah, sure. Why do they work here then? Then, of course, competitive pay. They won't tell you what the pay actually is in the posting of, like, the job or during the interview. That's a huge one. Yeah, you want to know what it's going to be competing against? Your bills. This is also a weird one, but asking if you are planning to have children in the interview. Now, the reason they do this, and I was actually trained to do this too, I never did though when I was a manager, was the reason is that family people are more reliable because they need the money for the job, whereas people who are single can have wiggle room and survive on their own for a while without need for income, so they are less reliable. And yeah, it's super illegal in Germany to do that, but you know, they'll ask indiscreetly or indirectly, and most of the time they do it to younger people who don't know that it's illegal, but I don't know if it's illegal anywhere else. Also, another shady thing is if your employer tries to tell you or force you to sign something saying you're not allowed to discuss your pay with other employees. That's pretty much illegal everywhere, and it's so that they can underpay you, and then so you won't be aware that you're being underpaid. Here's a simple red flag. If the company you're interviewing for doesn't release the name of the company, it could be a multi-level marketing scam. Also, beware any kind of buzzwords, you know, looking for rock stars, looking for gurus, ninjas, superstars, superheroes, willing to go above and beyond. Also, the term flexible schedule. It doesn't mean that you can work when you want to, it means that they need you to come in and work whenever they need you. A company that wants you to have social media. Like, imagine you're in an interview and you tell them that you don't have social media, and they demand to know, everyone has one, you absolutely have one, we need that info now. And regardless if you do or don't actually have social media, that's a big red flag. Alright, here's a meme red flag. If the toilet paper in the bathroom is just one ply. Oh, and if you're ever working in a family-owned business, but it's actually their family that's the majority working there, well, guess what? You're never going to be paid well or promoted because you're not part of the family, you're just some weird outsider. Why would they promote you over their cousin or their uncle or their wife or their son? And furthermore, because they're family, they can slack off and not even get the job done. They're always going to blame you, and because they're family, they're always going to side against you. Alright, well, that's all the red flags I got for you today. I'm Swole Benji. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. Leave a like on the video. I read every single comment. Tell me some red flags I might have missed. Make sure that you subscribe because videos every single day. The game footage in the background is Albion Online. I got links in the description. You can check it out. Join the Discord if you want to play games with me. On the right side of your screen is a video you should absolutely click. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's video. Take care. If you want to support me, click the join button. $5 a month. Gets you access to private, more personal videos. Take care. Mwah.